Hi, my name's Carrie, and today we're going to be discussing Internet safety, security, and copyright. We want to first get started by looking over the origins of the Internet. ARPANET was discovered and brought on in 1969. In 1980, between two university network computers, in 1980 actually, the first reported virus, caught everyone's attention. However, that was prior to the first IBM desktop computer that was introduced into the new world of technology. This is going to be short-lived, though, because as the information highway and international community took this excursion, like I said, they had the virus, and with it became increased security and safety topics for discussion. With all these different avenues and the ability to access all of this information, when there's a positive, there's a negative. For instance, the Internet's predecessor, ARPANET, technologically advances into broadband. Things have changed. They've changed quickly. If you look over the course of the time, you may think, oh, 1969, 1980, 1981. To tell you the truth, when I was in school in 1981, I was in the 6th grade, and I remember they set us down to the computers, the new computers, all operating in DOS. And in elementary type, we learned to make our first little computer program. And to look back on that now, and the advances that we've made, and I think about future generations to come, how that's going to evolve. So, issues that we face today, such as security and safety, ethics and copyright issues, they haven't just become an issue, they've been an issue. It has just grown, once started as a virus, which seems to be almost obsolete now, has turned into somewhat of a growing network of chaos and confusion, so to speak. Every piece of information available to man is at everyone's fingertips. How hard is it to monitor this control? How many keystrokes a day are being used to add information, to use information, as well as undermine and become a threat to one's safety or one's way of life? It's a two-headed monster, but we have to have it. Can you imagine what our life would be like today without any type of internet connectivity, where we work, our personal lives, online school? It would definitely be a shock to our systems if we no longer had internet access. The first topic I want to go over is security. Norton Antivirus is a program that it's a software manufacturer that develops antivirus protection that scans your computer. This is something that some employers will allow you to download at a discounted rate and then just transfers onto computer, or you can go into an Office Depot or Walmart and you can buy the software and install it into your computer, and then on certain scans it will run through. It'll pick up anything that's a threat to your system. It'll get rid of it. It'll clear it out. There are also private consulting firms that primarily a business would be the ones that would utilize something like this. Where that does become beneficial is especially for someone who is a small business. They might want to use the private consultant firms. As with a government or public entity, they have more access. They have an IT department. They can monitor and buy bulk program prices. Malware threats, these seem to be all over the place now. When you think you've got your virus situation taken care of, here comes a threat, spyware that'll take your information. It'll lock your computer up. I personally think the biggest risks are for the younger kids when it comes to this, because they aren't aware of the secret emails or the hidden subtitles in the emails, the pretty picture that pops up when they're on social media, and once they click that, then their computer has been infected. And it's also a threat to smartphones, iPads, iPhones. It just seems to be everywhere where that you have to monitor your security. Safety, the biggest topic of concern. Something we want to pay really close attention to is the safety, especially with our youth as parents and educators. Cyberbullies. This also will tie in with social media, however, there are other means that they can do this. Cyberbullies are the children or young adults, or even adults at this point in time, that will harass violently, verbally through the internet. Say, such as Facebook, for instance. Facebook security. We see all the privacy settings. There are privacy settings, however, there's really no way to track or detect unless you have a password and can go into the child's account who might be threatening them or relentlessly teasing them, making a mockery of them. Cyberbullying has become a huge problem and has turned into have some pretty devastating effects. Social media, protection from social media, child predators. Our children today are, I wouldn't say they're naive, but what we do need to do is we need to watch out. We need to know the passwords. We need to make sure their passwords are protected. Change their passwords from time to time. It's very important that we do monitor this. There's articles in the paper all the time about, this person pretended that they were 13 years old, and in fact it was a 35-year-old man. There are children that are in the news every day. They met someone on Craigslist, or they met someone on Facebook, or were talking through Twitter or Instagram, and they can't be found. They've ran off or have been taken. So as parents and educators, it's very important to monitor your child's activity when it comes to social media. There are parental controls you can use. You can request access. You can block certain websites on your computer outside of social media. When they're just on the internet looking, there's parental controls you need to use. Things come across this 15-inch monitor as a generalization that I, as an adult, am not prepared to see, let alone do I want a child or someone in youth I'm seeing as they're sitting in front of their computer screen. The bad ones are out there. Where there's a positive, there's a negative. As I said before, the internet and social media and Google and excuse me, Wikipedia, things like that children would use more than the others. There's definitely benefits that go with that. However, there's the negative as well, unfortunately. Copyright. Copyright, especially when using internet sources, you need to check authenticity of the site that you're referencing or you're using materials from or quoting. A big one for me is Wikipedia. I don't know that people realize that an individual can just add their information, whether it's right or wrong, to Wikipedia, and there's still the saying that don't believe everything you read on the internet. Well, a lot of times we get wrapped up and we think, oh, Wikipedia said it, it's right here, it sounds good, it sounds right, I'm going to use this in my paper or in my presentation. It's very important to check to make sure that what you're reading and what you're using is in fact true. Fair use, you need to be diligent. You need to make sure that if you are wanting to use printouts or brochures or materials from someone else, that you don't exceed the amount that you're supposed to use, that there's permission to do so. It's a very close when you're writing papers and you're using and not researching correctly. It's easy to get caught up in something that could be deemed as plagiarism. So you have to do your due diligence. Research if you're not sure. If it's something that you can use, it's someone else's words, how it can be used, how it can be presented. The information is out there. Your schools have additional resources that can assist you in making that determination if need be. So in conclusion, the internet is a wonderful tool. It's a wonderful social media. I keep track of, friends, family. There are definitely good things about the internet, far more that outweigh the negative. Your personal information, it's very important to keep that safe and secure. You want to use password protected sites to hold your information. You want to make sure you use special characters. You don't ever want to put your first name, your last name, your date of birth, your social security number. Any of those things can leave you wide open for an attack on your personal information, and no one wants their identity stolen. Child safety risk. Please, please, please monitor the children that you see on the internet or on their iPhones or their Androids, and they're texting away and typing away and scrolling away. Pay very close attention to who it is they're talking to and what activities that they are doing while they have the access to these items. Check your authenticity of your work. The middle school, junior high age, those are the ones, that's the best time to get them in practice. They're coming out of elementary school. They're starting to do more research papers, more book reports. That's the prime time you want to sit down and explain to them how to research this information and make sure they're not illegally citing or plagiarizing someone else's work. Once again, the internet is a wonderful, wonderful tool. I don't know that I remember life without it, and I hope that throughout the future the developers continue to maintain the software and the resources available to make sure it remains a fun, safe place for everyone to gain, learn, and share their knowledge. Thank you.